Hi, man. I'm here with Charlie Gray, Defensive Player of the Game after a 33-23 bowl victory for the Butler Grizzlies. Charlie, talk about the game. A lot of ups and downs, real physical game out there. What was it like out there for you?
Just we had to keep playing ball. You feel me? We had rough times. We had to get through them, slow down a little bit, and then we had to pick it back up, and we just know how to finish and keep going. So that's where that comes
It was a 13-game season. You guys got 10 wins. That's a long season, man. Take us through the season. What was it like for you?
from. I mean, from the first play of the game, we was backs to the 15 and shut them down that time. And then from the season there, we just started clicking and stuff. So it was it was a whole lot of ups and downs, stuff like that. And we just had to persevere and get through it.
What's one thing you're going to remember most about being a Butler Grizzly?
Family, period. Family.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Oh, sophomore linebacker here, Justin. This is bowl victory number 2 for you.
Yes,
How special is this one?
It means a lot more this year just because I had a bigger role to play in this game, and it was a great atmosphere for my fans and playing with my boys one last time.
You guys jumped out on top of Trinity Valley 21-0, but then they kind of fought back, and then it was a pretty physical ball game out there. What was it like from the defensive side of the ball?
Their O-line played a tough game. Their running backs ran hard. Their quarterback he had a solid arm, so it promoted a good challenge for us.
And, of course, I can't help but ask you about that final play of the game. Obviously, you tipped it up in the air. You came down with the ball. Take us through that last play and your interception.
I dropped in coverage. And I had to make sure I caught the ball, so I had to tip it up to myself, just make sure I secured it and sealed the game for us.
2 years wearing the purple and gold. Yes, what is one of the biggest memories or moments you're going to remember from your time as a Butler Grizzly?
I think when the horn sounds and you win and you just look to the guy next to you and you don't really have any words for each other. It's just jubilation on your face, and it's just a special feeling when you look at the guy next to you, and it's just special.
What do you want to say to Grizzly Nation right now?
I love you guys. Thank you for supporting us for my 2 years here.
Justin, congratulations, man. Go celebrate. All right, I'm here with sophomore AJ Vang. AJ, we talked about it early in the week, but this was start number 25 for you. You end your season, your career as a Butler Grizzly with a win, a bowl win. What's that mean to you?
It means everything. This place is so special, and I love this place so much, and I can't believe it's already to an end.
It was a pretty intense ball game. You guys jumped all over them 21-0, but then they fought back. They scrapped back. You guys rushed for over 200 yards. What was it like out there from the O-line, and obviously you're running back behind you and Damon and Darius?
Yeah, they ran great. We got stopped a little going into half and then out of half, but then we finally put it back up, and we did what we came to do, and we got the dub.
You've obviously started and played in 25 games here. You mentioned last year's bowl game and the Garden City win this year were probably your 2 best memories, maybe games you remember. Where's this one ranking in overall 25 out of the 25?
This one's ranking up there, definitely, especially because it means so much. 2 bowl games wins in a row, and then the 25 is special, and so, yeah, this one's up there.
What are you going to miss the most about wearing the purple and gold?
The family atmosphere. I'm gonna miss the coaches. I'm gonna miss everyone here because I love this place, and I wish I didn't have to leave, but I do.
What do you got? You got some words to say to Bucco Nation out there right now?
Love y'all.
All right, thank you, AJ. Congratulations, buddy. All right, we're here with sophomore defensive back Quayshawn Chisholm. Quayshawn, bowl victory today, 33-23. An intense battle out there. What was it like for you?
It was. I just tried to play within the defense and make plays, and it was a lot of energy on the sideline, so it was easy to play.
A 13-game season. You guys got 10 wins, 3 losses. A pretty special year by you guys.
It was. It was a long year, and it was hard, but the love on our team, it just helped us get through it.
What's one of the most memorable times you're going to take away from being a Butler Grizzly?
It's probably not even the on-field stuff, playing football. It's just all the bonds we make off the field because we go through real-life issues with each other, so that's probably it.
What do you want to say to Grizzly Nation out there right now?
Appreciate y'all.
All right, congratulations, man. All right, I'm here with freshman running back Darius Thomas and the offensive player of the game in the Midwest Classic Bowl in 2019. The Grizzlies win at 33-23. Darius, you rushed for 178 yards, 1 touchdown. Obviously, the Grizzlies get the victory. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot, but at first I couldn't do with them boys up front, moving stuff. Good game plan. We stick to what we was going to do. So I'm real proud, real happy.
You guys came to the game obviously with some injuries, some sickness, with only 2 running backs, you and Damon. Prior to the game, what was kind of your mindset and mentality going into the game, knowing that it was just you 2 guys out there?
I just knew, there wasn't nobody else, so I had to step up. I'm used to it, though. In high school, I had to. So just had to step up, make plays, and get the W.
Darius, some of the coaches talked about this about you, but obviously you were second, third on the depth chart for a while, found yourself in the starting role, and you made the most of it. Coach talks about grit all the time. I mean, I think you're a pretty dang gritty player, and it showed today.
Yes, sir. You just got to, when you make your opportunity, just got to do it. You got to ball out when you get your first one.
What's one of the most memorable things you're going to take away from this season?
Never give up. Always stay fighting. Stay down with your teammates.
What's a message you want to send to Bucco Nation right now?
Go Grizzlies.
All right, man. Congratulations. All right.
Yes, sir.
We're here with wide receivers coach Chris Jones. Chris, 13-game season. You finished it off with a bowl victory. What's that mean?
It's huge. It's unique to get 13. Obviously, you don't get that at this level. A lot of times you cap at 12. And we've hit 10 wins before since I've been here, and that alone is a challenge and special. But when you do it after 13, 12 of them being in a row, and you cap it off with a bowl championship, bringing hardware home is always good.
It was a tough physical game out there. We jumped out and got ahead of them 21-0, but then they fought back. And when a team like that, they're going to come back. They're going to get their cracks. At what point did you know we had this game won?
The block punt always helps. I mean, when we don't have to be in charge of scoring and not giving up scores, it's always good. So special teams, and that was an emphasis that we as a coaching staff put on our specialists this week, especially that unit, is that they were susceptible to getting blocked. It just happened that they were on the porch, and we knocked it in. So offensively, we were gearing up for a shorter porch, which really plays into our favor. But that was huge, and I think that really took some edge off because they made a run, and they're a bowl-worthy team, and they come from a competitive conference. They've got a lot of good history in their past, so they're it's going to be a 10-round fight. So for them to make a run's not atypical. It's just a matter of weather in that storm, and then finding that one thing that gives us that mojo back, and that was a huge turning point in the game.
What was the message from Coach Schaffner, maybe the coaching staff in the locker room, to the guys before coming out in the third quarter?
Well, it goes into what we always preach. It doesn't matter how you start, because everybody that leaves the stadium remembers the finish. So you go into halftime with the lead or trailing like we did a couple weeks ago against Garden. Either way, it's a 0-0 game when you come back out in the second half. And how you finish that last 30 minutes is what everybody remembers. And if you finish it the way we finish and the way we preach about it, good things happen, and that's how you get a win.
We got freshmen, sophomores, 3-year guys in this program. We're going to lose a lot. You do every year at this level. What's one thing you're going to remember most about this group of guys?
Well, Coach says it all the time. It's when your back is up against the wall. I mean, I'll remember a bunch of guys who started August 1st, went 4 weeks in 100-degree, billion-degree weather, and then spilled over into a regular season that was 12 weeks straight. So, I mean, you almost went through an NFL-long season with no breakage, and they were resilient. And we took some curveballs and things like that, but they were always aggressive. They were always attentive. They kept rowing the boat, as you will, and the grit just showed out. And it got us to 10 out of 13, 10 wins. You can hang your hat on that at the end of the day.
We're here with offensive coordinator Bryce Veneri. Bryce, 13-game season. You finish it with a bowl win. What's that mean?
It's a record at our level. We're the first team to ever play 13 games, and for us to come down here after a month off and win our 10th game. We haven't won 10 games since 2012. So to get over that hump and to come down here and play a really good team and to win a championship, to finish off the season is fantastic.
You talk about 3 weeks off. How hard is it to kind of corral the guys back in? I was talking to Coach Schaffner last night a little bit, and it's like it's kind of like week one feeling. It's a big question mark. You're playing a team you haven't played before. Yeah. You just kind of coming off a big break. What was it like coming out here and competing?
It took us a little while to get going. It took a couple drives, but the kids embraced it really well, and they did a really good job once they had their week off. And they came back. We prepared for a lot of stuff because, like you said, we hadn't played them since 2011. They do some unconventional things, and so we prepared for a lot of stuff. So early on in the game, we were trying to do a bunch of stuff, and obviously once we found what worked, we kind of went with it and ran with it. And I thought we did a really good job of managing the game at times. There was a couple mistakes here and there, but overall, our kids, for the amount of stuff that we did in the last month, play-wise, scheme-wise, all that stuff, they did a fantastic job of holding it together and understanding when we needed to take a chance, when we didn't, when we needed to run the clock, when we need to take shots, and they played their butts off. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Obviously, we were missing some players tonight. You only were down to, I think, only 2 running backs. You maybe started the season with 6 or 8, down to 2 tonight. How special were they, especially Darius tonight?
Oh, he's such a special, just as person, not to mention football player. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he runs so darn hard. And Damon on the other side, I mean, they just get better and better. And for them to have an extra month of practice and for them to play an extra 80 live snaps for next year, it's going to go leaps and bounds for both those guys. And I couldn't be more proud of all these guys in purple because, you get a chance to – you don't get it every day. You don't get a chance to win a championship. And being here in my time here, I've been fortunate enough to play for a lot of them and win a lot of them, and we've lost a couple of them. But there's no better feeling than taking – that's what I was just telling Nick – than taking pictures with mom and dad and putting up that number one and knowing that you were the one team that won. And it's a great way to finish off the season, especially this season started way back in the middle of July, and we didn't have an off day until November. So the work that these kids put in, the staff put in, I'm so proud of our guys on both sides of the ball, just every day coming in and doing their job and not wavering from it and believing in the process and doing what they're supposed to.
We talked about it earlier. It was a long season, 13 games, no breaks. What was one of the biggest moments that maybe stands out the most to you besides maybe the bowl win tonight?
Just week in and week out, how they can every Friday before we take the field on Saturday, I tell the kids, rededicate yourselves to each other for one more week. You only get a chance to play one game each week. You can only go 1-0. So the fact that they could rededicate themselves for 12 straight weeks to each other at this level is, to me, different. At the next level, yeah, they're a lot more glitz and glam and all that stuff, but at this level, all these kids are going different places after tonight. And that's the last time they're ever going to play together, and they're always going to remember what happened here in Miami, Oklahoma. And for them to do that each and every week and to believe in us and to believe in our process, I think it's awesome. I can hear Woody yelling over there.
Yep. What's one thing you're going to remember about this group of guys?
How tough they are. Like you saw today, I mean, we lined up with extra offensive linemen. We lined up double tight. They knew what we were doing, and our guys just smiled at them and went at them. And the amount of toughness that they have at every single position, because there was injuries throughout the year, and the amount of toughness, and you hear Coach Schaff say grit all the time, how they don't waver. It don't matter what you're going to do. Like, if you believe in what we're doing, I mean, we're going to run it. We're going to run the ball here, stop us. And the fact that they believe in it and they eat it, they breathe it. Like we tell our offensive line, we're on the 1 yard line, shoot through rebar. We need to score. And they did that multiple times throughout this season tonight. And I can't wait to go watch them. That's fun is to watch them on a Saturday when they're playing at their next place, because I've seen them do it for a long time.
What's one thing you want to say to Bucco Nation right now?
Thank you for all your support. Thank you for over the entire season at home games. We went 7-0 at home. Without you guys, there's no Butler football. This place is very special to me. It's near and dear to my heart. I've done my entire coaching career here besides 8 months. I've done half my playing career here. So the last 13 years that I've been a part of Butler football, you guys are what make this thing go, and you guys are the ones that make it all worth it when you come out here and you get a chance to hug people I've never even met before, but they get to come out and they get to watch Butler football, and Butler football is a special place to be.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations, man. Good job. Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with head coach Tim Schaffner after the 33-23 bowl win over Trinity Valley. Coach, big game tonight. Overall thoughts on tonight's performance by the guys?
It seems like it was kind of fitting, because that's the way most of our games went this past season. Nip and tuck. Couldn't quite put them away until the end, and that's what matters. But it just kind of epitomizes what we talk about, these guys having grit and just resiliency and their survivability, and they showed it again tonight.
A lot of ups and downs in the game. We obviously started off hot with a 21-0 lead, and then Trinity Valley fought back. They were good, and then our defense locked it in and got some scores, and it was kind of a roller coaster of a game.
There ain't no doubt. When you jump up that early, that quick, it's hard to keep guys focused in, and that was our struggle. And they had to get refocused in a hurry when they cut it to one score, and we were kind of able to reestablish ourselves, which was good. But it's tough. I mean, when you're up 21-0 and you're barely starting the second quarter, it is tough, especially for these guys to stay locked in.
I talked to Coach Veneri a little bit, but we brought 2 running backs here today. Injuries, sickness, things like that. How big were they?
They were huge. I mean, Didi did a great job, and what people forget is that when the season started, Didi was 4th on the depth chart. Damon, and it wasn't even really on it at that time. We didn't anticipate even using him, and guys get forced into it, and you can see that the future's pretty bright.
On the defensive side of the ball, scored a touchdown with a blocked punt, and then had the safety. How big were they, and came up in big moments tonight?
Huge, because the moment we started bowl prep, we talked about we needed 2 big plays on our punt block team. We wanted to block 2 of them. We got 1 block and then the safety off of it. It's huge. They're game changers.
13-game season. It's been a long season. How do you feel right now that it's over and it's ending with the victory for the Grizzlies?
I feel good and I need a nap. I mean, I'm tired, and I know those guys are tired, and it was a grind, and just to kind of hold it together and having a month off before we played this thing again is a little bit difficult, but I'm just really proud of them because they just gritted it out.
I heard somebody asking a reporter earlier, how many going to return next year? And at our level, the turnover is crazy. You lose 75-80% of the team every year.
Yes.
What's one thing you're going to remember most about this group of guys right here?
Their energy and their grit. What I told them last night at the banquet, they always brought great energy to practice, and sometimes too much, and we'd have to refocus them and retool them and what have you. And then just their grit. I mean, we never had to beg them to practice or run around. They always wanted to be out there, and they enjoyed being around each other.
What's one thing you want to say to Bucco Nation right now?
Thank you for your support, and can't wait till next year.
Show off that trophy. I think we'll find
It's
space.
going to go into that Christmas tree that we have in the office where his brother was last year. But yeah, it's going to look good in the complex.
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight and a great season.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. AJ Vang, how you feel right now?
Feel amazing, and I'm hungry, really, really hungry.